So I'm making this video to answer the question, who am I and why should you listen to me and what do I have to offer you? So let's go back, shall we? So first of all, I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years at the time of recording this video, and I used to be on welfare, right? And I was always having this vision that I would be successful. Even though I was on welfare, I actually purposely went on welfare. So what happened was I just broke up with my ex-girlfriend, and I was at an all-time low. Like, I thought I was going to marry this girl. Like, I had all these dreams, right? It was my first proper girlfriend. And she actually broke up with me because I was trying to make this online thing work, and the fruits weren't forthcoming, right? And I was giving her less attention. My work was number one. She became number two. And my mission was I was just so focused. Like, I didn't actually care to give her much attention. But I still cared about her, but you know what I mean? Like, I was, 18 at the time, and I was just so focused, right? And so she broke up with me, and then I moved back in with my parents, and I slept on a sofa bed because basically what happened was my parents, my dad, my mum, they needed extra income. So what they would do is I don't know how this happened, but basically there was a scheme at the time where you could get free students. You get paid £13, so like 15, 20 bucks, $15, $18 per student per night, right? So I think, yeah, they got paid. So we had free students come and stay at our room. We had a 5-bedroom house, but all the rooms were taken because my brother was in one, and then mum and dad were in the other, and then the study was converted. So yeah, we had 2 spare bedrooms, and so the students were in both those rooms. And so there was 3 students every night that came to stay over, sometimes 4, 2 in each room. And so that's how my dad was supplementing his income, right? So therefore, meaning I had nowhere to stay. So I had to go downstairs in the lounge and sleep on a sofa bed. And that was my reality, right? And imagine, I just came back from university, dropped out of university because I sucked at university. And my girlfriend just dumped me, the one who I thought I was going to have a future with. I was so naive at the time. And that turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me, because from there, I decided to go on welfare, and that was a conscious choice. And then I started to get really hungry for my success. And I started to go on the internet and started to research, like, all right, who's making money, right? Because I found this ad, and then I got scammed when I was with her, and it was all about how to make money online. And then that's what got me into the world of make money online. And then, yeah, I started figuring out, all right, there was this guy living near me, and he was making 6 figures, and he was 18, and he lived in England. And I was like, I'm going to go to his house. Well, I wanted to go to his house, but then I found his number on a website, and then cold called his number, and his father picked up, and then I spoke to the guy for like an hour. We hit it off, and I was like, oh shit. Then he invited me to his house, and then we started connecting, and then I started making money because of my association with him. And he taught me some things, and yeah, it was great. And then, anyway, fast forward, and I went to another event, which he invited me to, which I couldn't afford. I only afforded the ticket, but the actual hotel and the accommodation I couldn't afford. And so I went to my parents, and I was like, yo, I need your savings. So they raided their savings account for me, and then they asked one of our family friends for some money, and my mum paid her back, and that was amazing. So I went to this event, and that's where I saw the people I was watching on YouTube in real life, and that blew my mind. I didn't know that this was possible until I shook the hand of the guy or the lady that I'd seen on a YouTube video a few weeks ago. That's when I knew this internet thing is real, because these people, they're doing this full time, and they're multimillionaires, and I just shook their hand, and I just spoke to them, so I know it's real. And so that gave me a whole new level of belief. And yeah, long story short, I went back to England, and then went to another event, met my mentor, and then went out to Thailand. And then rest is history from there. So fast forward, I started basically in the online marketing space, right? Like business opportunities, that's what I was doing. And then I was also helping like small businesses, stuff like that, marketing, right? And then from there, I went into the health space, because the pivot I made was I was actually not getting that much fulfillment from the marketing stuff, right? Because I just wasn't. It was just numbers on the screen. The way I was doing it was just, mailing an email list and making money, which is great, but that wasn't enough for me. So I wanted more. And I was just at this moment in time in my life where I was just like kind of not inspired. And then one of my friends came to hang out with me, and then we started working out together. He dragged me into the gym, and he was like all the things I wanted to be as a man. Like I could see how much I was just wasting away. I wasn't maximizing my potential. And yeah, he got the respect and the power that I wanted. And so I started working out with him. I started eating the way he was eating, which is way different to the way I was eating at the time. And then started getting in shape and started sharing my results online. And then the people started asking me how I was doing it. And so I started sharing, and then they was like, oh, dude, do you have a program? And I was like, no, I'll make a program. So I started making a program about it. Released that. That was called Alpha Shredding. And then that did really well. And then got some amazing results from that for clients. And then people started to rubber band back to their old self. And I was like, what's going on here? And as I started learning more about it, I was like, oh, I need to change my business because, first of all, I need to get these people better results, more long-lasting results. And secondly, I need to increase the LTV, lifetime customer value, lifetime value of the customer, right? So I need to have a higher priced back-end product to monetize so I can spend more money to acquire customers. And so that's why I got into coaching. There's all those reasons combined. And then I became a much better coach, added value to myself, and was able to properly support clients. And that was a slow run because it was like I had to learn how to ask for thousands of dollars over the phone, and had to build my self-worth to know that what I'm offering is worth way more than what I'm charging, and all the rest of it that goes into raising your prices. And it's interesting what happens when you start raising your prices, when you're selling something that you've created, you attach your self-worth. Well, I did. I attached my self-worth to it. And my mentor always said, people sell based on their worth, but people buy based on value. And that's so important to understand. But anyway, so then I continued, and I hired other coaches, spent a lot of money on coaching, I spent more than $40,000 on coaching in the last 4 years. And this is why I've developed my skill set to the point where I can get people great results, because I know how to shift their mindset. And this is what I've learned how to do. Okay? And that's what the key is in everything, is shifting your mindset. And then from there to now is essentially, being a health coach and being more of a mental health coach as well, with the mindset side of things. Of course, the nutrition, the physical side is there, but the mindset is where a lot of people fall off. And one of the biggest success stories that I'm proud of is the guy who joined me 5 years ago, and he's still ripped 5 years later, because that shows that he's completely shifted his mindset and he's adopted this healthy lifestyle that I preach and teach. And so, and another guy, he joined me, and he was working a 9 to 5, and now he's a health coach himself, because he got in shape and he realized, oh fuck, if I can change the way I look, then I can change other shit in my life too. And so that confidence spread into other areas of his life. And so this is why I'm qualified to teach on this. And also, I forgot about my own transformation. I mentioned that a little bit, but I have my own before and after, right? Like my mental health and my physical health completely transformed. Like I just felt like a fucking loser, basically, even though I had money. It was crazy, right? But I felt like a loser. And going to the gym consistently and hanging out with my friend who was inspiring me, and just his energy just radiated everywhere he went. Like people would look at him, not at me. And I always wanted that power and respect. I just wanted respect. I wanted to walk in the room and people respect my presence. Like that's just a male thing. I can't describe that to a woman, but it's just, that's what, I don't know. I think most men want to feel respected and noticed. Like,
oh shit, that's Aaron Darko. Oh yeah, that's Aaron Darko.
Like I want that. Like I crave that. And there's nothing wrong with that, and it's just maximizing my potential as a man. And so since then, I've done so many things. I've done stand-up comedy 5 times. I've jumped off a bridge 15 times, bungee jump 15 jumps in 6 days, and I've never bungee jumped before. I hate heights. I've started a movie here in Bali, acting. And what else have I done? Oh yeah, I started jiu-jitsu. I'm a blue belt at the time recording this. So yeah, just attacking the things I'm scared of and doing things that, people will respect. Like you can't not respect me for doing those things, because those things most men don't do. So it's if you're, let's say if you're into martial arts and you're like a black belt, like that commands respect. Like you instantly command respect because that's fucking hard. Like you've spent most of your life doing that, right? You spent like at least a third of your life doing this one thing. So that tells me everything I need to know about you in terms of your mindset, right? So my coach, one of my good friends, he's a black belt, right? And his mindset is just
fucking solid,
right? Because he's a black belt. He's been doing something for 15 fucking years. And I'm swearing because it's that important. So imagine the discipline that he has. He's been doing one thing for 15 years. And he's progressively gotten better at it. And now he's even better at it because he's teaching it. Because when you teach, you learn twice, right? So, yeah. And one of my goals was to surround myself with masters of their craft. I wrote down, I was like, all my friends are masters of their craft. And I look around me now, and I'm like,
holy shit. All my friends are masters of their craft.
Like my friends get invited to speak around the world. Like it's amazing. And that shows me how much I've grown, because people that are masters of their craft don't associate with losers, right? Like that's not how you become a master. So it must be that I'm actually a good person to be around, and adding value to them, and a person of value. And so again, I've worked through so much stuff in my life thus far, and the reason I'm making this video is just to depict and show you my journey, like in an overview way, and show you why I talk about the things I talk about, and why I'm able to help people move past their fears, because I've moved past my own fears, right? And it's not the absence of fear, it's just courage, right? And having that courage to do the thing you're scared of, because you know that on the other side of it is the freedom that you want, the pride in yourself, right? Because that's the only thing that matters. Is that Tom Billy said, the only thing that matters is how you feel about yourself when you're by yourself. And so I want to feel great about myself when I'm by myself. And how do I do that? By doing the things that I'm scared of, attacking the things that I actually want to do, but I'm scared to do it. I wanted to do jiu-jitsu for 5 years. I didn't do it for 5 years because, first of all, I was scared. And second of all, I was just making excuses. And when I started training, I remember the day that I said, yes, I'm going to train. I bumped into my coach, and at the time, like he was just in the gym, and I'd already met him at a dinner like a few months ago. And I mentioned to him, like, oh yeah, when you start up the classes, I'll join. And then I bumped into him, and when I saw him in the gym, I was like, oh fuck, that guy. That I told him that I was going to join the class, but I didn't want to join the class because it messes up my schedule. I started thinking about all these excuses of why I shouldn't join the class. And then he bumped into me one night at the gym, and he was like, yeah, I told you I was going to join at some point, yeah. And he's like, what are you doing tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock? I was like, nothing. He's like, come train.
It's like, oh, fuck.
Because I know myself, like I know that if I like it, I'm going to keep going, right? And then then I'm in it. Then I'm training jiu-jitsu. So I went, and obviously I liked it, and then I just kept going. And so that was the story there. And yeah, now it's been like almost a bit longer than 2 years now, just a few months over 2 years that I've been, since I started basically. Not that I haven't been I've been training, but there's been lots of breaks in between that. So yes, that's the story, and that's why I am doing what I'm doing. And just wanted to let you know the backstory in case you were wondering. And how I help clients is I have a few offerings, right? So I love to geek out on mindset. So I have mindset programs based around like fears, beliefs, values, habits, because this is all what's affecting our results in the outer world, right? Like our relationship with ourself affects the results we have in the outer world. Boundaries is a huge topic that I am working through still to this day. And I also help on because, I'm further along than where I used to be, which I didn't have any boundaries. And it was so hard for me to say no, right? Like it was the hardest thing in the world for me. I'd feel bad for other people. I'd take on their feelings as my own when I'm not responsible for how they react to me setting a boundary. All this stuff, right? And, most problems in life are boundary problems. It's like people are walking all over you because you're not setting boundaries. For example, that was my experience at least. Some people don't have problems with boundaries. Some people are just like,
fuck off, no. Nope, you can't have that. Nope, nope.
Fuck off. Some people, it's easy for them. Some people, it's the hardest thing in the world. And they want to say no, but they're like,
I don't want him to feel bad.
you know, this is a problem. So, yeah, that was me, being a nice guy, being a people pleaser, all this stuff. So all these topics, like I coach on this. And this is another thing I want to raise is some people view me as like a life coach. I don't like that term at all because I'm not a life coach, right? I'm a coach. And just so it happens that what is coaching? Coaching is nothing but the process of asking powerful questions. Because, yeah, I have insights and I can tell you my insights, but you have the answers within you. But the problem is you just haven't been asked the right questions. And furthermore, maybe you haven't had someone actually listen to you, like really understand you and what's going on for you, right? So I've helped lots of people in different areas of life. Like it's not just one area, but the area I tend to focus on is health. But once you understand coaching and once you've been coached yourself, like I paid 40 grand for my coaching, my personal development, you understand that it's all the same, right? Like it's just someone asking you a really powerful question because they understand the topics, right? So like fears, like for example, if you're complaining to me about your partner, about something they're doing, that tells me that you're scared of something. Because if you keep complaining about the same thing, you're scared of not doing something. You're scared of doing something that you know you should do because of what the repercussion is. That's what you're scared of. So I can hear that as you're talking to me. So I will ask a question that penetrates all of that and gets right to the core of the issue. So this is an example of coaching, right? So when I hear people talk and complain, like it's either fear, it's either a belief or a boundary problem, and that's the core. I'm looking at the core. What's the root of this problem that's being presented? If you watch the Tony Robbins, I Am Not Your Guru, there's a girl that stands up and she says, oh, I want to change my diet. And she's slim, right? She's not fat. And he's like, oh, interesting. And he's like, okay, what do you want? He asks her another question and they ask her, who are you doing all this for? Essentially, it goes deeper into like, she wants the approval of her father, right? And that's the core of it. So it's not about the diet. It's about the core is she wants the approval of her dad. And so this is the depth that I'm talking about that you can't really get from watching a YouTube video of mine. You need to get it from being on a call with me and experiencing the coaching that I'm able to provide you and holding that container, that space, so you can talk about your problems and then get help from that, right? It's basically like a therapist, but it's not a therapist because therapists focus only on, well, not only, I shouldn't say that, but they focus a lot on the past, right? I don't want to keep you focused on the past. I want to move you forward. That's what coaching is. Coaching is focused on, all right, where are you at now? Where do you want to be? Let's bridge that gap, right? And yeah, I only talk about shit that I've done. So that's another thing. But it doesn't matter who you are. I'm very confident in my skill set that I can help you. Maybe I won't be able to help you all the way, but I can definitely help you have an insight, oh, I didn't think about it that way. Oh, fuck, yeah, oh, yeah, fuck, yeah. Oh, shit, fuck, yeah. That moment, that aha moment, that's what Oprah Winfrey said about why she started the Oprah show. She was like, the whole reason I started the show was to hear someone say, I didn't think about it like that. I never thought about that. Because that's the epiphany that shifts your worldview, right? Because if you have those moments often, you are constantly changing the way you see the world, and the results you're getting changes as a result of the way you see the world. So for me, that's the biggest reason why I'm so passionate about this. Like, I had a meeting with one of my friends, who's a very successful guy here in Bali, and he was on vacation here, and he was in a dilemma. He was like, I'm really good at real estate investing. I can keep doing that, or I can taper off that and still do it a little bit, but I want to start a food franchise in America. And I asked him, I said, okay, 10 years from now, which one would you have regretted not doing? Would you have regretted not doing the real estate or not doing the food franchise? And he said, I would definitely have regretted not doing the food franchise. There's the answer. Then he had an epiphany. He's like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I should just do it then. Right, cheers. Thanks, Aaron. Cheers. So it's that simple, right? Like, that was something that he had a lot of anxiety around, like frustration and not being able to pick the right decision. And one conversation with me, boom, I'm not in the food business. I don't need to be. I just need to know how to ask powerful questions. And that's the gift that I give people, and it shifts their whole worldview, right? And it just so happens that I do this with the health, but I can do this with anything. Relationships is one thing that a lot of women come to me for. They want help with navigating their relationship with their partner, and they want a male perspective on that. So I give that to them, right? And they pay me for it because it's valuable. Like, where else are you going to get that from? I have a unique experience with women through my own experiences, right, that I can give to people. So, for example, I was in a relationship for 7 years, and I ended it, and I had carried that guilt for 5 years after that. And I just released it only recently, right, 5 years later, after a healing conversation where she was like, actually, that was good that you broke up with me because I was able to grow as well. And I was like, had a healing conversation. But it takes courage to express. You know, I didn't used to be that guy that expresses myself in relationships. I would just hide things in and then just not express how I felt. And then she would think that everything's fine, but I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to leave. I want to leave this relationship. But I didn't know how to express that to her because I didn't want her to feel bad, and I didn't have the tools to express in a healthy way that didn't make me feel bad, and, you know, didn't rupture the relationship, you know, stuff like that. So navigating a relationship is something that I've learned how to do, and just so many things that I can help with. And marketing is all about being able to articulate how you help people, right? So if you want to lose weight, I know that these are all mental problems because it was for me, right? Like, the reason I didn't work out consistently for 26 years was because I had mental blocks. Once I saw my friend and he hung out with me, his mindset was able to go into my mindset, and I started rewiring my brain and started thinking differently, started believing different things about the thing that I didn't do for 26 years. And since then, I've been working out consistently 3 times a week, right? Some days I miss some workouts, of course, I'm only human, but for the most part, 3 days a week. And I've been eating differently since then. It's been 6 years now at the time recording this video, and I'm still got a six-pack, right? Every day, 24/7, 365 days of the year. And it's because of the mindset shifts. So I know that if you need to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, you want to get in shape, you want to get lean, you want to lose that stomach, you want to get a bikini body, you want to lose the flab on your arms if you're a woman, you want to lose the rolls on the love handles. I know that working with me will help you because I know that it's a mental issue, right? And yeah, sure, there's some strategy there, but most of it, 80% is mental, 20% is tactics. And I know that once you work with me, then you will be on a better trajectory, and you will be able to lose the weight and live that healthy lifestyle that you want. That's just one aspect. And then goes into the fears and beliefs and habits and the values, right? Understanding that is going to help your mental health, because now every day you're acting in a way from your values. So, for example, I'm going scuba diving tomorrow, and that is courage at play, because I'm scared of scuba diving. I've never done it before. I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway because courage is one of my values. So getting clear on your values is something I help you with as well, because values are the compass of life. So these are all things I've learned, you know. So this is why I'm expressing. Self-expression is a value of mine. So expressing myself. So this is a how I'm actioning that on a daily basis, doing this, expressing how I feel, stuff like that. You know, it's hard for me, but it's my values. It's what I know is going to help me get to the next level in my life and grow as a person. So I help on that as well, getting you clear on your values so you can move with purpose in life and know what's important to you, what's not important to you. And then also relationships, like I said, right? Like coaching you on whatever problems you're having in relationships and helping you move through that. And what I've learned about relationships, I had a relationship coach before. What I've learned is relationships is all about you. It's all about the relationship you have with yourself. Because if the relationship you have with yourself isn't a good one, you're going to project that shit onto someone else, and you're going to start blaming them for all the shit that is in you that you haven't healed and fixed. And so, yeah, it's deep stuff, but I become this guy, you know, like I like this stuff. This is just what I geek out on, you know, and I'd love to listen to people and listen to you talk about your problems, and we get to a solution. That's why I like it, because we can get to a solution. But it requires deep listening, and I love deep listening, and I love people. And when I say I don't love people, I know that there's a problem with how I'm viewing people, because I love people, right? So whenever I have resentments against people, I need to release that. And that's another thing, like resentments and how that shows up, and just releasing that. And it's because resentment can kill people, like it literally can. Like, anyway, I go deep, digress, but that's a wrap for me. If you've watched this far, then yeah, congratulations. And if you feel like you need some help with anything you're experiencing, if you just want to chat for an hour and then we can see what comes up, click the link below this video and book your free call. And again, most people have problems in health, wealth, and relationships, right? The three areas. And to my knowledge, experience, most people that I help, because they're CEOs, wealthy entrepreneurs, most people have relationship problems. I mean, we all do, even if it's in work, people problems. Like one of my last clients, he had a people problem. He had an ex-business partner that they just bought out of the company, and then the guy's come back and he's trying to sue them and shit like that. And it's just like, how do you deal with the emotional side of that? Like, because that plays a part on how you deal with the company and show up at work and show up for your kids, show up for your wife, for example. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot there, but you know, it requires to talk to someone who can help you move forward to where you want to be. Okay, and that's what coaching is. All right, so I'd like to be your coach. I'd like to be in your corner if you would, if you want that. If not, no worries. Keep watching the videos. And if you like what you heard today, go ahead and click the link below this video, or you can message me on Instagram at @TheRealDarko and get in touch. All right, so I'll talk to you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.